Hi everyone, my name is Jennifer Johnson. I'm an independent consultant with Usborne Books and More, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my very first YouTube video, so bear with me. Here on my channel you'll find everything Usborne, and my intention is to create videos that provide recommendations on books for different age groups or topics. Also, some of my personal favorites, some of our fan favorites. Also, I want to provide some videos that offer an in-depth look and detailed look kind of into our books, and even an interactive look into some of our books. A lot of our books are books that have pop-out or pull-out things, or activity books, books that have internet links to them, or are internet referenced. So I'm going to kind of go over some of those features with you too, hopefully, and a lot of our product videos that I'm going to share with you. And then there will just be some kind of other random Usborne related things. So I'm just starting my channel, like I said. This is my first video, so it may take a while to kind of build up a video library with a ton of interesting videos here on my channel, but I hope as time goes on that everyone who visits my channel here and who's interested and curious about Usborne Books and More will walk away with something that they really feel great about from my channel, something that provides them with satisfaction. So to start with, I'm going to talk a little bit about why I joined Usborne Books and More. And first off, I want to say, from the business side of things, I have always wanted to do something that allows me to work from home, and mainly for the reason that I have some chronic illnesses and some health problems, and for me, a typical 9-to-5 out in the public type of job is just very difficult for me. With my health issues, it's really necessary for me to have something that's flexible, and so I have kind of always wanted to work from home. My husband works outside of the home right now. I am a stay-at-home mom. On the other hand, I never have really considered a direct sales position. I've never really been interested in getting into a direct sales type of position. I kind of touched on that category at one point in my life, and it just was not my cup of tea. I really loved the product that I was selling, but I was not a great salesperson. My personality, just who I was as a person really didn't fit that type of position. So I wasn't super successful at it. And this company really isn't a direct sales company that I worked for. Like the other direct sales companies you see out there, you know they're direct sales company. This really was not that. I went through a private interview process. I flew out to headquarters at their cost for training. They provided me with samples and catalogs at no cost to myself. So there was no startup costs for me. So I was basically a representative of this company, kind of in charge of a district or a territory that was local to me. And there was a home office like there are with a lot of other direct sales company, but it was on the other side of the country. It wasn't a direct sales company, and as you traditionally think of a direct sales company, but it was a direct sales company from the perspective that I had to go out and market this product to customers. I had to recruit customers. I had to be creative with advertising locally in my area, and I didn't have coworkers that I worked with on a daily basis. And I was independent basically, and working and trying to sell this product and market this product and get the word out about this product. So it was direct sales from that point of view. The fact that I really had to push the quality and benefits of this product and get people on board with this product. It was direct sales from the point of view that I was working independently. I was responsible for going out and recruiting new customers, and for for me, it was very difficult because I had reps from other competing companies in the area who kind of already had a hold on the local market. They kind of monopolized all my resources, all the potential customers that I had out there. And it was very difficult for me personally, just for my personality and the way I am, to go out and say, hey, yeah, I know you're happy with this product and with this representative, and you've been using it for years, and there may be benefits to the, of it over the product I'm wanting to share with you, but, go out on a limb for me. It's really difficult for me to promote my product, get my foot in the door, when there was already a rep who basically had a monopoly over my potential customers in the area, and she held a position in the community that was very influential. And so it really made it difficult for me, on top of not being the type of person to really just ask somebody for help, want to push something on somebody, or ask somebody to take a risk and go out on a limb for me. I'm just not that type of person. I personally don't feel like I'm a great salesperson. There's those car sales people or whatever who are just super charismatic. They always know the right things to say to make the sale, and I'm just not that way. There are some really great salespeople out there who, they're not fake. They're not, trying to hustle anybody. They're just great salespeople, and they have great work ethic. They're totally genuine people, and they just really want to help their customer get the best deal or the best product. And they're just really great at that. But for me personally, I just really always felt there was a part of me that felt ingenuine, I guess, if that makes sense, in a position where I had to try to sell a product that was not already a staple in the home, or that was not something that was super necessary in a person's life, that it didn't kind of sell itself, if that makes any sense. Anything where I felt like I relatively had to convince people that they needed this product in their life or in their home, it just made me feel really uncomfortable. Because that's just not the type of person I am. So, even though this product was a product that I really loved, it was just not, the selling part of it was just not good for me. And the product market, was very specific too. It wasn't like I had a broad range of potential customers. It was a very specific, targeted product. And like I said, I had a rep in my area who already had a hold kind of on the target. So, so now, after explaining why I really have not ever been interested in direct sales, I'm going to share with you why I am now an independent consultant with Usborne Books and More, and why, after telling you I didn't want to be in direct sales. So let me just say that it is because of the company and the product. For me, when I heard about Usborne Books and More, and I kind of discovered them and their products, jumping into being an independent consultant with them didn't feel like I was getting into direct sales. That sounds weird, I know, but it didn't feel that way. And Usborne Books and More, when I came across them, it was just like a light bulb for me. It was like a no-brainer. I have a child who loves books. She's almost 3, and she's very, very smart. She's very active. She's very high energy. She's all over the place. She has a huge imagination. She's like a sponge. She picks up on everything. She remembers everything. She'll recite things back. There'll be books and songs that she'll recite back to me that I'm like, how did you even remember that? I didn't even know you remembered that. It's amazing, the minds of children, and what they're capable of. And every day she amazes me with something new, and I love it. So as a parent, my challenge was, yeah, books are important, but there are so many books out there, and I wanted to make sure that the books that I was bringing in to our home, the books I was providing for my child, were books that were educational, books that were fun, books that taught basic life skills and life lessons in a way that she could relate to and understand and comprehend. I wanted these books to be versatile and multi-purpose because I'm spending my money on these books, right? So I want to be getting my money's worth out of the books that I'm spending money on. I don't want to break the bank on books either, because books can get expensive. So if I have a book that's she's having fun reading, but she's also learning to read and learning her, phonetic and grammar and basic vocabulary skills, or a book that she's able to be interactive with, but she's still effectively learning her numbers and letters, or basic social skills or basic life skills, that's a win in my book. That's the kind of book I want to bring into my home. Those are the kind of books that I want my child to read. Books that she's going to ask to get out time and time again. Books that she's going to ask to get more of. Books that she's going to love to read because they're engaging, they're interactive, and they draw her in, and they draw her interest and attention to them. So I want books that are better than good, as Peter Usborne says. So when I stumbled upon these books, completely by accident, of course, that's exactly what I found, to my delight, that's exactly what these Usborne and Kane Miller books are. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it hit me. Why didn't I know about these books sooner? Statistics show that interest in reading outside of school at a kindergarten age, nearly 100%, if not 100% of kindergartners have an interest in reading outside of school. And by the time you get to 4th grade, that number drops to nearly half. 56% of 4th graders have an interest in reading outside of school. And when you get to 8th grade, that number drops even more to 36%. By the time our kids are seniors graduating high school, that number is down to 19%. 19%, okay? That's a really low number. Now, I was in school once, obviously. So, I kind of know maybe, and I kind of have an idea of why that number changes. A couple reasons. When I was a kid, a young kid, a lot of the books that I read were, really fun books. They had bright illustrations and they were engaging, or at least the way the teacher read them was engaging, and it got us really excited about the book and into the book. By the time I got to junior high, 8th grade, mainly the books I was reading in school were, filled with algebraic formulas that I didn't necessarily understand, or, stuff that was kind of starting to get a little boring. And I'm like, wow, I've had enough of books. I don't want to read outside of class. And by the time I got to high school, I was reading Shakespeare and Old English literature and things that, have a value, and have a value in a child's life, and have a value in our society, and are great classic pieces, that we should definitely be reading. But the books were thick books with really thin pages, and they were filled with tiny, tiny lines of text, and that was it. No illustrations, nothing. That was it, and that was repetitive and boring, and I just got sick of it, Now, I was really, really fortunate, and a lot of kids, not all kids are as fortunate as I was, but I was fortunate to have a really awesome English teacher in high school. She was so passionate about her job and the subject that she taught, that it showed through in her teaching. And so we would read Shakespeare, or we would read, like something that was really heavy and kind of hard to understand, and she would break it up for us, but she would do it in a fun way. She'd get us, she'd encourage us to engage and to interact and to ask questions and to discuss things amongst ourselves and discuss things with her and come up with our own ideas. And she just was so passionate. So I was really fortunate to have a teacher like that, but not all kids are that lucky. What changed in books from the time I was in kindergarten as a small kid to 12th grade? What changes in books? Well, for one, the way that information is presented in these books changes drastically from kindergarten to to 12th grade. And obviously you say, well, you know, you're growing, you're maturing, so obviously the content should mature too, and the way the content is presented should mature. Well, you know, it goes from being eye-catching and interesting and interactive to boring and repetitive and bland and predictable. And yeah, the older we get, the more capable we are of comprehending complicated concepts and producing more sophisticated thoughts and ways of, you know, understanding things and looking at things and presenting things. Yeah, we're capable of that the older we get, and that is an important skill to develop, but doesn't mean that this bland, complicated way of presenting information should be the norm just because we're more mature. I mean, what it means that we're at a higher level, we're more superior, or we're, you know, more intellectual and intelligent if we present information that way just because we can. No, I don't think that should necessarily be true. You know, I mean, why not present information in a fun way? You know, even though we're capable of reading thick books with text after text after text that's, you know, super tiny. Why? You know, I mean, it doesn't mean we have to do that. Another thing I think changes from, you know, early childhood into, you know, early adulthood or adolescence is reading out loud. And I know that sounds funny because teenagers are like, what? You know, I don't want some teacher to sit here and read out loud to me like I'm a kid. Well, you know, while reading can be a private and therapeutic, quiet, personal activity, it's also a communal activity. In past centuries, people would get together and read. You know, in the Regency period, the period of Jane Austen, okay, they would have readings where people would get together and read or be read to, and it was a communal activity. It was a family activity. It was a time to bond and discuss and get together and spend time together. And I think that there is a value in making it a communal activity and reading out loud. And so one of the things that caught my attention right away about Usborne and King Miller books was that they're fun to read out loud and the way the information is presented. And they offer a lot of books on classical, lofty subjects like Shakespeare, like arithmetic and, you know, classic literature. But they offer classical music and art books that discuss these topics that are very classical and lofty that often kids can get lost in, can be confused about. But the way that they present, the way the Usborne and King Miller books present this information, I think is wonderful. And they do have books for younger kids that are Shakespeare books. The way it's presented, kids can understand and it's interesting to them. Even the books for the older kids that are about Shakespeare, the way that information is not, you know, boring and bland. That's interactive and fun, even in the books for the older kids. So that really caught my eye about Usborne and King Miller books, and I just fell in love with that concept. That, yeah, why does it have to be boring? Why does math have to be boring when you get up into high school? I mean, you can still have fun with it. They do such a great job of presenting information in these books in a way that is engaging and interesting for any age group. As I said before, I came across Usborne Books and More completely by accident. I think I was invited to a Facebook party, which I think I had been invited to one previously, but I didn't really pay attention because I'm pretty busy. I'm always kind of doing stuff and on the go. There's always something I'm doing. But for some reason, I had a little extra time between tasks. I think I was doing dishes, and I had my phone sitting there and got a notification that there was a post in this party. I went, checked out the post. It was a video. I watched the video as I did my dishes, and I was just so impressed and blown away by these books I was seeing in this video, and I'm like, wow, I want those books in my home. My child would love those books. I would love reading those books with my child. I would have fun with those books. So I was introduced to these books, and I was so impressed with them. And I can be pretty skeptical about things, you know, but I was so impressed with these books that it didn't take me long to just take the leap and become an independent consultant with Usborne Books and More. Even then, the main reason that I decided to become a consultant was not to make money, but solely to have access, discounted access to these amazing books. I joined thinking that even if I never sell a single book to anyone else, I will be happy and content just to build an amazing library for my daughter or my kids. So yeah, bonus if I could help provide a little extra income into our family, into our home, but it really, at the time, that was secondary to getting these books in the hands of my child. And that was why I finally decided to take the leap, why it finally felt right to me to be in a sales position like this, because it really wasn't about selling the books for me. It was about accumulating them in my home. My primary motivation was not to make a bunch of money, but instead to bring these wonderful books into my home and to spread a love of reading and literacy with amazing books to other families, to give suggestions. By promoting these books that I just personally loved and in my home, and I thought, hey, I love them, you might love them too. Being able to promote these books that are going to grab and hold kids' attention, books for the brain and the heart and the hands, that's what it was about for me. Bringing these books into my home, into my family, and getting them in the hands of my child. That's why I became an independent consultant, giving her access to all of these amazing books that I knew were just going to be so beneficial to her. And I'm not spending hours in the bookstore searching through children's books down aisles and aisles full of shelves that are full of books that have no rhyme or reason to how they're organized. I'm not spending hours and hours sitting on a bookstore floor thumbing through book after book, saying, is this book right for my child? Is it worth my money? Is it something that is appropriate for her age? Is it something that is full of just rich content? So I don't feel uncomfortable promoting Usborne and Kane Miller books to others, because it's not even like I'm trying to make a sale. It's like, hey, my daughter loves these books. We love these books together. We make great memories reading these books, and they hold a special place in our home, and I think your child would love them too. For me, it's really about making kids happy, helping them to learn and to love reading and love learning, but also to have a fun and put a smile on their face. Helping parents to make memories with their kids, while promoting literacy and scoring a win for education, meaningful content and education. If you're interested in these books, great. I can help you get some amazing books for some great deals, maybe even some for free. If you're not interested, no big deal. I'm just making a suggestion from a parent to parent on what I love in my home and what we love in our home and what works in our home. I'm not trying to make a sale. I'm just offering help. That's all. Or, offering a suggestion, a friendly suggestion from parent to parent. So I don't feel like with this company and with being an independent consultant that I have to be a pushy salesperson, that I have to push to make a sale, because that's not who I am at all, and that's not how I like to be. And I don't like to come off that way to people, because it certainly bugs me when people come off that way to me. Because then I feel like a number, and I don't want people to feel like a number. I don't want people to feel used. And so with that being said, anytime I promote a book or anything, it's because I think that a family will genuinely benefit from it. I love that I have an opportunity to make others aware of the benefits these books provide. And I just love to share something that I think would hold a special place in their home and create cherished memories for them and their children, in the way that these books do it in our home and provide those opportunities in our home. So that's the main reason why I joined Usborne Books and More. Basically, having access to these amazing books for my child, my own child. And after I joined, of course, I found other benefits. to being an independent consultant with Usborne Books and More. So I learned about those other benefits, and that was just like icing on the cake. But so down the road, I made you another video on kind of the reasons to join Usborne Books and More as an independent consultant, some of the benefits and great things that come from being an independent consultant with Usborne Books and More. I made you another video down the road on that. And if you're interested in joining my team, I will leave a link down below in the description box that you can go to contact me about joining my team, get more information, or if you just decide you want to take the leap like I did and join my team, you can do that there too. So I will leave a link down below to my site in the description box, like I said. Also, hosting a Facebook party. Okay, if you're not quite ready to take the leap and just join my team and become an independent consultant, I totally understand, because it can be a scary kind of it can be a scary thing to do. It's a big decision for some people. For me, it kind of was a no-brainer. Although I did still think about it a little bit, take some time to do that. But hosting a Facebook party, that's another great way to get some amazing benefits. You can familiarize yourself with some of our books, and that's a great way to do that. Hosting a party is a great way to familiarize yourself with some of our books and other products, and it's super easy to do. I mean, it's easy to do. You know, you sit in your pajamas at home and watch the party go on, and you interact, and hopefully maybe get some great benefits. You have an opportunity to get some free books. So if you're not sure about becoming an independent consultant yet, hosting a party is a great way to take baby steps and just kind of, you know, get a feel for the waters, kind of a thing. So if you're interested in hosting a Facebook party or finding out more information about what goes into hosting a Facebook party, you can also find my contact information down below. I would love to help you host a party. If you need recommendations or anything too. If you just want to shop, there's a link down there below in the description box for that too. So basically the same link will lead you to a place where you can either join my team, you can contact me for more information about hosting a party, or you can just browse our online catalog and browse our store and shop and see, you know, what you want. What looks interesting to you. If you want recommendations personalized to you, contact me and let me know what your situation is, or what kind of personality your child has, what kind of things your child loves to do, and I can give you personal recommendations too. We have books for all ages, all topics, so I think there will be something that we can find for your child that your child will love. So I will leave the link down below. It is usbornebookcountry.com. I do have a Facebook page as well, which I can leave a link to as well, if you would like. I post on that, you know, every couple days or every day, just kind of depends, but I try to post on there often. And I post mainly about our books and some of our products on there, and usually there's a topic to my posts, whether right now it's back to school. I'm doing a lot of back to school posts, and I've done, you know, posts about kind of our reference books. I've done posts about special needs. I've done a lot of different topics within back to school. You can check that page out too. And, you know, keep in mind Christmas will be coming up in a few months. I do my Christmas shopping early, so books make great gifts. Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, baby shower gifts. You know, hopefully you'll find something there that you like. Books make great gifts, and we have more than just great books. And I hope to share all that and more with you in coming videos in the future. So thank you for watching. If you stuck with me this long, I'm sorry it was a little long, but hopefully you found something in here that you took away and felt good about, and something that maybe helped you out or gave you a little more information or something you could relate to. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in my next video.